Hey guys, Funkymusic here, and today we're going to be doing an early preview of the Frostmourne Wrath of the Lich King Seasonal Realm by Warmane. So let's just get into it. I'll read the entire thing and then we'll break it down a bit. Greetings, Warmane community. After many years of dedicated hard work and experience, we gathered in hosting great gaming experiences that many can enjoy. We are at a point once again where we would like to introduce you to our next project. We decided that our next realm should be a hybrid of our two most successful realms, Lordaeron and Icecrown, fusing Lordaeron's content difficulty that has been modified and adjusted over the years based on countless player suggestions and feedback, and Icecrown's fast-paced gameplay experience. Due to the indisputable high popularity over the years of Icecrown and in an effort to reduce the queues and player load, we have decided to come forth with Frostmourne, the next realm within the Warmane brand of quality. Frostmourne is set to release April 15th of 2020. The next step in our path is to create a seasonal realm. The purpose of this realm is to create the experience that we are all fond of, but instead of making it a one-way trip, we will create a seasonal journey from the start of Naxxramas to the end of Ruby Sanctum for everyone to enjoy. Players interested in raiding content will be able to enjoy the chase towards sieging Icecrown Citadel from the beginning and compete against other guilds. Players interested in PvP will be able to enjoy an ever-changing meta, with gear switching up every season, and the best of the best will be able to obtain rewards and fame. The armory itself will contain per-season specific rankings of players, and the top players of each season will receive unique rewards. Season-specific goals can be changed from season to season, assuring a fresh way to compete, and different goals can be modified, rewarding unique things that were never rewarded before, such as achievement hunting, questing, and more. Realm design. Experience rate will be the same as on Icecrown, 7x. Raiding content will be tuned to current Lordaeron's content. This is not the same as in Lordaeron launch, as we have refined the difficulty over the years considering large amounts of player feedback, striking a balance and achieving content difficulty that is challenging but far from impossible for the average player. This is still in the stage of careful consideration. Community feedback is welcome. There will be two raid resets in 1 week, one to enable playing on weekdays and one to enable playing on weekends. Cross Realm will be activated for Battlegrounds, but various measures will be in effect to ensure that players you find yourself with or are allied with will be on the equivalent standing in terms of gear. Marketplace will be similar to Icecrown's model. Character trading and the trade system will be available as on Lordaeron. Characters will be moved to Icecrown once the season ends, assuring a fresh competitive realm each time a new season starts. The season is set to last 12 months. The content will be divided in 4 tiers. The content of the first tier will be available on day 1. Every 3 months, the content will progress further. And here they give the content of it. I'm not going to read all that, but there it is. The aim of this realm is to bring a breath of fresh air into the expansion we all hold very dear. Our team has been hard at work, further perfecting all areas of our Wrath of the Lich King realms. We are aiming to assure mint perfection in all areas of the game with the experience and mountains of feedback we have received from managing our other Wrath of the Lich King realms. We know that we are able to achieve it. All the work invested into this realm will be applicable to all of our other realms where appropriate. We hope you enjoy us on our next journey. Kind regards, Warmane. Okay, guys, let's break this down a bit. Due to the indisputable high popularity of Icecrown, is what they said. Yet, Warmane, you still refuse to fix glaring issues, such as your dungeons, some of which are completely undoable at random, which I have covered. Oh, Funky, shut the fuck up. It's just dungeons. No. Dungeons provide the ability to farm marks. If you are in a serious guild doing serious work in this new server, you'll want to be running for every mark you can get for your tier gear. Professor Putricide is super easy on Warmane due to the fact that mutated plague damage is scaled wrong and is not doing the proper damage, making Phase 3 a total joke. We are comparing Method's retail logs to Warmane's numbers, and this has been reported to Warmane, and they say it is fixed, but it is not. Lich King Valks are moving way slower than retail did, roughly 40 to 50% slower than they did in retail, thus making Valk phases a joke as well. We all know Valks plus Defile in Phase 2 is the hardest phase to complete on Warmane. Now, having said that, I know they will be attuning these to Lordaeron's scripts. Currently, as far as I know, Lordaeron and Icecrown are the same when it comes to how those things work. So until they fix those, yeah. So with the Warmane brand of quality, as I just went over, our team has been hard at work, further perfecting all areas of Wrath of the Lich King realms. What the fuck is that supposed to mean after I just read all that shit above? Or before this, rather. Do they not understand what I just said? Players interested in PvP will be able to enjoy ever-changing meta, with gear switching up every season, and the best of the best will be able to obtain rewards and fame. What does that exactly mean, Warmane? You're being very vague at this point. We need more details on this as soon as possible. This is about the most vague thing you could come up with. It sounds good, but we need details as you promised. Today you were supposed to release those details. Raiding content will be tuned as current Lordaeron's content is tuned. This is not the same on Lordaeron's launch, as we have refined difficulty over the years considering large amounts of players and feedback. This is what they said. Right, this is straight out of the post. Attuned to current Lordaeron, and they said it's not the same as the Lordaeron launch. Does anybody remember how Lordaeron launch went in those early parts of the phases?
Y me llama el cocinero. Risita, ¿qué? Ve por la paellera. Venga, que las 2 de la tarde ya están aquí. Miren, bañador. En las chanclas. Todo despeinado porque no me dio tiempo nada ponerme las chanclas y el bañador. Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
It was horribly bad, guys. Now, they say they have fixed that, but I don't know if they ever did. I know they've fixed things in the end game as far as ICC goes and stuff like that, where there was a point where on Lordaeron you could not even kill Lich King. I know that has been fixed. Does anybody know if they've gone back and fixed the old stuff? They say they have. I don't know. I haven't been able to find anything on that, so if anybody wants to provide that information, I would be more than helpful to explaining how they plan on doing this, because the Nax and Udalar was just ridiculously stupid. They just scaled everything up and started fucking with crazy shit, and it was retarded, and people were just quitting left and right because how stupid it was. So let's hope they have abandoned that. Let's hope this goes a little bit smoother. Cross Realm will be activated for Battlegrounds, but various measures will be in effect to ensure that players you find yourself against or allied with will be on equivalent standing in terms of gear. So how's this going to work? Before I hear about it's only BGs, it doesn't matter. Let's say the meta on Frostmourne is so powerful when facing others in Cross Realm, it just shits on them. Are we talking custom PvP weapons and items as well? People still farm BGs on Lord and Icecrown in order to get honor and arena points weekly. There is so much that could potentially go wrong here with cross-faction enabled, and I don't know what the possible outcomes could be, and the downfall will be swift from the community if this doesn't work. They also state that the best of the best will be able to obtain rewards and fame. I want to cover this a little bit later on in this video, but I want you guys to remember that part when we get down to a little bit of the Q&A stuff. Marketplace will be similar to Icecrown model. Listen, Warmane is a business, and I get it. I really do, guys. So they need some new cash flows. I totally understand that. It's the one thing I honestly do understand about this release, and I agree with, since it makes all the sense in the world. However, this means all the current Lord players will be turned off by reading this alone. It's why they don't play Icecrown in the first place. It's the reason why they pushed for the Lordaeron 1x realms. Yet you guys want to sit there and say that you're trying to lower the population on Icecrown and Lordaeron. Also, guys, remember this population reduction that they talk about in here. Characters will be moved to Icecrown once the season ends, assuring a fresh competitive realm each time a new season starts. A huge topic with a lot of questions and pitfalls. So you're going to flood the already insane Icecrown market and player base with more players every year? Right after you state that the population and player loads are too high on Icecrown. What? What kind of sense does that make is all beyond me. So you were trying to tell me and tell players who can't donate or refuse to donate to go to this new server so they help lower the population on Icecrown and Lordaeron to help lessen these queue times, but then again you're going to put them right back on Icecrown? That's very contradicting. It also makes no sense at all in the world. If you're trying to lower the population, you'd put them on a fresh, brand new realm or something like that. In fact, you would actually probably want to move them over to Lordaeron, since the custom content is what they're going to be playing. Why is it Icecrown that has to suffer? Does Warmane assume that these people only want to play the custom content, and thus will not want to play Ice Crown's more Blizz-like content. Trial of the Crusader, Vault of Archivon, Corellon, Onyxia PvP 7 for 3 months. No one, and I mean no one, wants to do talk twice a week for 3 months. TOC is the most boring raid of all time, and yet you want people's eyes to literally bleed, or what exactly here? Let's move on to the Q&A provided by Mercy. And I'm going to be skipping around some of these questions, the other ones I don't find so important. Question: will the marketplace be similar to the Ice Crown model? What does it mean? Answer: it means that the gear will be obtainable via the marketplace. We plan to have some restrictions on it, like items not being available until they are attained in-game. More details are to be determined. Okay, guys, so at least this is to be determined by the staff and not just some set rules. Because if it went off this, right off the rip, it means you could buy them once they are obtained in-game. It would be an absolute shit show. Can you imagine the first Solace or Valinar drop, then the market being flooded with everyone buying them? Of course, this again works in Warmane's favor about money. Let's skip down to the third question. So this realm will be online for 1 season, and then all characters go to Ice Crown and Frostmourne realm, going off? I don't know what that means exactly. Answer: once the 1-year duration season for Frostmourne has concluded, the realm will reset, and your characters will be available to transfer off the realm. Again, so you're allowing people to transfer over to a realm that you guys, in your statement, currently say is overpopulated as it is. GG, Warmane. That makes perfect fucking sense. Let's skip down to the 7th question. What's the point of this realm? Answer: there are a lot of reasons for us to make it, and we've been working on it for quite a while. But we decided the time was right, given our current population concerns on both Lordaeron and Ice Crown. Guys, the point of this realm is money. Don't let Warmane's staff confuse you players out there. It is for money only. Again, I am perfectly fine with this, though. We have to have money to run the servers and to pay the staff. I have a bachelor's degree in science of business, not to toot my own horn, but trust me, I totally understand this move. Obviously, Warmane can't say this because what kind of strategy would that be? But make no mistake, this is a cash grab. The current population concerns on Lordaeron and Ice Crown are only there because of the coronavirus hitting us right now. Does anyone else find it odd that there's a release of a new server in 2 weeks when we're all home and being locked down? We'll talk about that a little later. Last question. If I earn a Realm First achievement on Frostmourne, will I lose them when my character moves to Ice Crown? Answer: no, you will get to keep them since you earned them. Alright, I knew this was coming. I wanted to say up front without lying, yes guys, I think this is bullshit for myself and others who did the Realm First, and I don't want to see my titles that I earned that are so special to me and others. Yes guys, I get it. We did Lighted Armor scripts for shit. I'm not here to argue semantics. Everyone had the clean shot at it from day one in the same gear on Ragnaros and Ragnaros/Ice Crown and Deathwing. So I don't want to hear about the petty arguments that are easily debunked when it comes to our Realm First titles. If we want to argue that, we'll make a separate video for that bullshit. Since only a handful of us have them, for them to just get watered down to the point where, after a few seasons, we've got 100 to 200 people running around with Dust Demise or Magic Seeker, for example, is insane. Now, putting my bias aside, it is also bad because the same reason I just said. It makes having the title mean next to nothing anymore. Sure, we can link ours and it shows we did it in 2015, but that's besides the point. Can you imagine getting all the Realm First as an example on this new realm, then flooding the Ice Crown market with the sale of your new character? While I'm on the topic real quick, why does Ice Crown have to suffer these effects, as we've spoken about before? Why wouldn't you be able to transfer to Lord? Lord has custom content. This server is going to be custom content, and they use the same scripts. We all know the population has to boom, again, with the coronavirus, and once things settle down in the summer, the numbers will dwindle down again, A, due to the virus probably being not as rampant as it is now, and B, due to the fact that it is summer and less people play during the summer. Just real quick, speaking about the coronavirus again, I touched on it a minute ago. Does anyone else think it's funny that they are launching this while millions of people are staying at home and their population has seen a huge boost due to the outbreak? This is not a coincidence, people. It's a calculated business move, again, one that I get and agree with, but nonetheless, shady. Alright guys, so I want to go into some of the discussion, some of the things I've seen in the Warmane forum threads, just real quick here. So here, let's take a look at this picture. I'll let you guys read it, but I'm going to go ahead and comment on it. If you want to pause the video here, read what these guys are saying, and then pick up again, please feel free to do so. So, you guys are literally blind if you don't think this is about money. Sorry, but you are totally clueless if you think this is not about money. How is this neat? Again, I referenced my talk portion in this video. TOC has been rated in the top 5 worst raids of all time by many others besides myself. Why in God's name would you want to do it for 3 months, twice a week? To see how long it takes before you slit your wrist or what? Okay, the bottom part here with Rotarian. We only do something when we believe it will succeed. Stop. Okay, just stop. You released the Medieval Realm 1X for TBC that failed. Your entire TBC realms, for that matter, have failed. If that's the case, then why even release patches for TBC or MOP, since less than 600 players play on those realms combined? Leave what you want to believe in one hand, and crap in the other, and see which gets filled first, Warmane. But don't spew utter nonsense to the community like that. And I'll talk a little bit about Warmane, the Warmane forums, and the people who get on there a little bit later in this video. So guys, let's look at some of the other comments out there from what I've read. Now here's a quick, just real glance over Reddit's WoW servers here about talking about the new realm. And if you guys have read this, you know that most of the comments on here are not good, negative, terrible. Let's check out some of the Discord channel chat, shall we? And the YouTube comments. To summarize all this up, guys, I'm not saying that everyone is going to hate this realm, but certainly everyone is not going to like this realm either. Look, guys, I get why the realm was made. It's for straight up money, and Warmane is getting slammed with players due to the coronavirus, thus why the release is coming in 2 weeks. Hell, when they announced Lordaeron, it was a community vote in the forums, and a long time before the release came. Even the TBC launch was nearly a month after the announcement. From a business-minded person such as myself, I understand this 100%, and I totally agree from a business standpoint only. As a player, however, it's a clusterfuck of useless shit that makes zero sense. People are not going to leave Icecrown to play there. People will not leave Lord to play there. It just won't happen. At least not the numbers needed to mitigate the population in order to help with the queue times. It's a good hype for Warmane, however, and it should attract a lot of attention. I fully expect the realm to be flooded just like every release has been on Warmane. However, as we have constantly seen with every release, only Icecrown remains capped and fully stocked with tons of players. This new realm only makes Icecrown's population worse, as these people will be transferred here at the end of the server's run. The fact that release is 2 weeks away and some of these topics and questions are set at TBD, to be determined, by staff members, is another warning sign that this is just a rushed launch of fuckery about ready to shit on the private server community. So far, minus the Warmane forums, which I don't trust as they are filled with so much information and botted accounts, I have mostly seen negative reviews about this server launching through other forums and comments on Discord and YouTube. I remember when Molten died, and I remember when Warmane took its place. One of the promises made by staff was to include the community more and to keep us more informed. This is hardly that at best. As we also know, Blizzard had just released a TBC questionnaire for retail players. This could also be a reason why Warmane is trying to do something a little bit different, maybe a little custom scripting here, trying to do one last big cash grab before a Wrath server comes out for Classic. In closing, guys, this is going to do nothing to mitigate the population. This is a straight-up cash grab, which I am okay with from a business point of view of things, not okay with as a player. I am biased because I don't want to lose my titles, even when I'm not biased, or the specialty of having my titles, and people can argue, well, it wasn't that special here on a private server, it wasn't that special, the scripting was broken. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. We were the first ones to do it. Everyone else had an equal opportunity to do it as well, so fuck off. You lost. Anyways, the point being is, I don't want there to be tons of people walking around after a couple years with tons of not Light of Dawn's, Death's Demise, again, Magic Seeker, things like that and whatnot. That is just stupid to me. Now, if Warmane wants to make a custom thing saying, well, make a custom title for whoever does a realm first or whatever, sure, that would be cool. Why can't they do that? Why can't they make a custom title? They're already talking about custom stuff in PvP. Why not make a custom title? That way you would know each season who was the best that season, instead of just 100 to 200 players walking around with Death's Demise title on. Doesn't really make it feel that special, I guess. The other point of that being, as well, is that Lordaeron is not receiving any of these people. So everyone's coming to Ice Crown, which is already overpopulated, and not on a custom script server. We're more Blizz-like than Lordaeron is, and these players will be coming from a custom script server like Lordaeron. Why wouldn't you send them to Lordaeron, which has a lower population, than Ice Crown? Why would you send them to Ice Crown? If they didn't want to play more Blizz-like, they're not going to want to play there. And Lordaeron is the least populated. Lordaeron's not at max. Okay, guys, I want to stress this really again. I cannot stress this enough. The coronavirus, ever since it hit, Lordaeron has reached peak. Before that, it was around 5, 6K, maybe 7 at peak. And even before that, they say cross-realm BGs brought back all these players, because before that, it was doing very poorly. It was down to about 3,000 peak times. And all of a sudden, they enable cross-realm BGs, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, these 3,000 players just came back to playing. And if you also look at Lordaeron, most of the people playing there are leveling. They are not level 80. So why wouldn't you populate that realm with more level 80s on the same content that these players are coming from? This makes little to no sense to me whatsoever. If you want to put your players from Frostmourne after the year's over on your highest populated realm instead of your lower populated realm, makes absolutely no sense. And again with the PvP, how are these new metas going to affect cross-realm BGs? I think that's a huge issue that I can't believe they would even do something like that. I mean, I guess they'd have to do something for the PvP players, but I mean, their PvPs, as we already know, is running rampant with scripters and everything else going on. PvP's got a big enough problem that they can't fix already. Maybe fix that problem. I don't know. With PvP, I mean, this could really ruin BGs if they've managed to fuck this up. Or it could cause all the PvP players to go on that realm just to roll the best meta, to face roll everything in BGs, depending on how they do this, what they're going to do to buff it, how OP it's going to be. Just lots of question marks there for PvP. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I really am eager to see your comments about what you, the community, thinks about this server and what it's going to do. Specifically, things you hate or like about it. As always, guys, I hope you have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video.